Late last year, the Bernie Sanders supporting progressive Larry Krasner won his race as Philly's new district attorney, and this win was in the face of opposition from both the city's police union and the Philadelphia Inquirer, both of which backed Krasner's Republican opponent, despite their history of usually supporting Democrats. And once Krasner got in, he began to shake things up immediately, dismissing 31 employees from the Philly DA's office, including the dismissal of a unit that had a record of seeking the death penalty at the behest of former DAs, despite Governor Tom Wolf's moratorium on state executions. And now Larry Krasner is doing another amazing thing, suing Big Pharma and dropping all marijuana possession charges. Now I'll get to the Big Pharma aspect of this in a second, but just on the marijuana possession charges alone. Dropping all marijuana possession charges is, to me, an obvious move. Arresting somebody for possessing marijuana, a drug that has never killed anybody in the history of the world, is insane. I can't believe that we're still having discussions over this. And I'm pretty happy that Canada is legalizing marijuana this year, though I have my own issues with how they're doing that. I'll save that for a different video. But, so, marijuana possession charges. Despite how ridiculous they are, just on the face of them, they also affect black people 4 times more than white people. Now, when Krasner was asked about why he decided to drop all marijuana possession charges, he gave the best response. "I did it because I felt it was the right thing to do," Krasner said when asked of his motivation. "We could use those resources to solve homicides." So he did it because it was the right thing to do, and because that money could be better used elsewhere. This is an obvious answer, but it's weird to actually hear this from a district attorney, because there has been years and years and years of propaganda about marijuana thrown at people, so that when you hear something like an obvious statement like, yeah, of course I dropped these possession charges because it was the right thing to do, and because we can use that money for homicides, something that's actually important. It's shocking to hear that, because we're so used to hearing people in authority positions be so thoroughly uneducated and just plain stupid when it comes to drugs. But Larry Krasner is a progressive who actually gets it. And because voters came out and voted for him, he's actually in there making changes. Now, I want to get to mention the Big Pharma stuff. So, additionally, the DA's office said that it had filed a lawsuit on February 2nd against Big Pharma under Pennsylvania's unfair trade practices and consumer protection laws for their alleged role in creating the city's opioid epidemic. Now, this lawsuit may sound familiar to you because a lot of other cities are doing this, including New York City, where they sued Big Pharma for $500 million for fueling the opioid epidemic. So look, this is what happens when you actually get out there and vote. And not just vote on the national level, but also at the state and local level. You get people from the grassroots, people like Larry Krasner, who was a civil rights attorney and actually sued Philadelphia police 75 times before he became the DA of the city. So you have to get involved. And if you don't have the time to, volunteer or don't have the money to donate, just at least be aware of what is happening in your city and in your state. And educate yourself on who is running in these elections. Because when you have somebody like a Larry Krasner running, it makes a huge difference. The president isn't the be-all, end-all. Yes, the president is important, but if change can happen at the state and local levels, then it creeps up to the top. And ultimately, every single one of these elections matter. Hey, if you like this video, hit that subscribe button below and consider throwing me a few bucks on Patreon at patreon.com/therationalnational or therationalnational.com/join.